Mel,
Brandon,
great to see you.
great to see you too. So you're all mashed up.
Oh, yeah, just living it up. Well, we're all free. The governor set us free. So what are we, episode?
Whoa, the government did not set us free.
Oh, she's lifted all sorts of stuff.
In the 4th.
Well,
We're fucked until the 4th.
Well, the 4th, okay. I'm starting early. How about that?
I'm telling you what, you're putting your life, not only your life, but everybody's life.
At risk.
At risk. The terror.
The
terror.
I didn't see the part about the 4th, so I started today.
Did you? Good for you.
Went out and visited
Sooner.
some folks.
You're a real sooner.
And I think mostly everybody else interpreted it as today, too, because I've seen a lot more people out, and some small businesses were open, and
Yeah.
normally might not have been, so good for them.
I went down to Burger Junkie and sat down and had a burger, fries, and a beer.
Ooh, Rebel.
Sat right down inside there.
Good for you, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Great for him.
I told him if
'cause-
the Gestapo come, tell them I wouldn't leave. They didn't. So, but everybody knows what a fucking con this is. Even the
it's just, well,
Tom Langer,
the city county health guy.
Yeah, what he?
I spoke to him because
Yeah, you said you were going to.
I did. I sent him a Facebook message, had trouble reaching him, and then I asked for his email, got his email, emailed him, and he got right back to me. And I think part of what was written in the paper, that was a transcript effectively. They pulled excerpts, or his quoted him from a media conference that he did on Facebook. So some of it was sort of, I don't want to say the paper took it out of context, but it doesn't flow like the conversation flowed. And,
Well, he was towing Kelly's line, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he obviously is the city county health guy, is obviously privy to some of this stuff prior to us seeing it from the governor.
Okay, privy or toady?
I'm going to say privy, because that was his words.
Fair enough.
That was his words.
That's fair enough.
And so, I think he got to see some of this, and what I called him about, because what I was concerned is he made a statement in the paper that he's going to make these small businesses that are non-essential, that are going to be coming back on board, to have to develop a plan. It's going to be a requirement, and he, it may have to share it with him to be able to operate. And anyhow, I thought it, in the paper, how I read it, I didn't see the video first, it came off to me like he was going to be putting the thumb down on these people. And so I immediately...
On the small business.
On the small business. And
because they're the underlying cause of this whole damn thing.
Well, you can go to Costco or Walmart and you can all get together, but you can't go to a small business that's only going to have not only a fraction of the people in there, but anyhow, it is odd. The whole thing's odd, right? So anyhow, I actually had a conversation with him via email, and I got a lot more comfortable with him. And his first interaction was great. That I watched and had with him a few weeks ago, and then I seen that in the paper, and so I watched he had a meeting today with the industry leaders, all the people that have businesses in the county from 50 to 50 and up. And so I sat in on that, and I think he's a really fair guy. That's where I'm going to go with that.
I would say he's fair depending on which way the wind's blowing. I think he's a fair weather fair guy.
See, I don't know. I didn't buy that. Only thing that I was concerned about in the paper was the thumb on the small business people.
Well, what is that? Okay.
And after he talked through that, when I talked through with him, he
talked through it or talked around it.
No, he talked through it. Implying that,
all right,
here's the deal.
I'm looking for something that's not there, so be it.
I'm here to help these small businesses get back on board. And that's what he said. And I straight up asked him what was going to be the metric for him to take anything further than the governor already has. And he said it would have to be like a cluster outbreak, like we're seeing in some of these other communities in Kansas. I guess Dodge City, Garden City, Liberal.
If we doubled our amount of infected, would that be enough to drive them to that?
No, he said...
if 2 people got infected, would all of a sudden...
that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said a cluster.
Well, we doubled.
Well, a cluster would meaning like if...
2 people in one place.
He said 3 or more, which I don't know if that's the right count number, because I'd heard it was 2 or more that wasn't family members was a cluster, but he said 3 or more. So in the event, like a business, for example... a series of people in the business, 3 or more, got the virus, that would be considered a cluster, and that would get him to want to think and maybe do something different locally. But I don't know.
But you think he's privy to more stuff than we are?
For two reasons. One, I do think he is because of his.
Okay, I'll go along with that. But the information that he's privy to, how sanitized, filtered, agenda-driven is that information that he's privy to?
Well, that's just it. But here's what everybody is privy to. All of us, not just him or you or I, is we're all privy to mathematics. And we've only had, and he said it himself today. It's like, not only did we flatten the curve, but we smashed the curve in Cowley County. There was no curve, there was no bubble. We had a couple little instances. One of them wasn't even from Cowley County. The other one, we had a positive and a negative, and then the other confirmed case. And then, so, his opinion on it, Mel, is we don't really have a problem here yet.
Oh.
And he's not going to do anything until we have a problem here.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean he's not going to do anything? I mean, he's already done things that I think are damning.
He personally hasn't.
Advised.
He personally hasn't.
He's enforced them. He's the one making the call. I know, and I understand where you're.
Nobody's been arrested. I mean,
nobody's been arrested because nobody's hardly frequently violated the law, and the ones that did, they were threatened with arrest. And they were threatened with heavy fines.
I haven't heard that, but...
Well, I have.
Maybe you run in different circles.
I hope so. Jesus, you're friends. But now, what was the last thing that he said in his newspaper? I mean, so he said, and I quote from the newspaper, so I quote from the newspaper, put it on the line, I got news for you that this virus doesn't care. It will find its way to you eventually. I mean, so he does know that statistically and mathematically and factually speaking, everything we're doing is for naught. It's going to get there. You're not going to stop it. Masks don't work. The N97 might protect from what they're not even sure what it protects from because they're talking skin contact.
He's not a big mask guy. He's not a big mask guy either.
Okay. Excellent. It's kind of like having a segregated swimming pool with a pool segregated with a peeing section. I mean, think that it's not going to migrate around no matter what the hell you do. This thought that we're gonna what did he call it? What's it called? Keep yourself at home.
Stay-at-home order, self-quarantine.
Self-quarantine. It's self-quarantine. Okay. When your whole family gets it, is that a cluster? You're quarantined.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How could it not be? That is a cluster.
But it's not because it's all one family. Even like the governor's orders, and
so the whole thing's a cluster. Fuck is what I'm saying.
It's definitely that, but
and a costly, expensive cluster.
So here's the good news, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think we got the guy for the job in that place. I mean, I've visited with him enough. I'm comfortable with him. I like him. Until he does something that I think's out of control, I got your back, and that's really the way it is, Mel. I mean,
I guess I'm an anti-government person to the core because I don't trust anything any of them say. I don't give a damn who they are because I've been nothing but lied to, cheated on, and maligned as long as I can have dealt with the government. And I would like to see a shining example where they've done a good job, or other than Trump, the only shining example I got is this guy right here, the magnificent bastard Trump. That's the only. But he's not a government guy.
He's not a government guy.
So then I'm back to where I stood.
All right, so enough with Tom Langer, our city health official. I think he's got it under control. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, okay. But he's not an economist, obviously.
No, well, none of them are at this point, right? None of them.
Well, okay, all right.
So I want to talk about what the governor did. So the governor allowed businesses, non-essential businesses, to come back at it, except for tattoo shops, barber shops, nail salons, bars, and who else? I think that was about it. And then you can't have any mass gatherings and sporting events and mass gatherings.
Mass.
And so all these restaurants and things, they've got some. They can open back up, but they've got some running rules and things. And I think it's going to work out because the running rules are so confusing. What the governor put out is able to put, you can have up to 10 people as long as they're not within a 6-foot region of another group of 10 people. Family members only count as one.
And just the thought of this essential business. How do you determine an essential business? The whole thing's so convoluted. But it's the government, which I understand you're a government guy now. Now all of a sudden you're a government guy. Okay, that's cool.
So, what I'm getting at, Mel, all these restaurants are going to open up tomorrow, or May 4th, as you say.
May 4th.
Today's May 1st, by the way, May Day. But,
Commie Day.
Commie Day. But there is no enforceable element of what they're getting ready to open up, especially in a little town like Ark City, where, I mean, most of the maximum occupancy at these places, excluding maybe Pizza Ranch.
They could put their foot down.
I don't think they're going to, Mel.
Well,
they're gonna separate these tables out.
But that's almost like a decision of the chief of police.
Well, no, it's not. That's just funny. Thing is, this is what she put out. These guidelines and these rules, they're not enforceable because they're not hardly measurable. So you and me
never stopped them. It's not stopping them now. When you say not measurable, which hit the nail right on the head, it's not measurable, but yet it hasn't stopped them. They got these guys shut down for what 50 days or whatever it is, 60 days?
And it's not measurable.
the time clicks on.
Maybe you're right.
And to think that all these measures, is that what stopped the Roni? Do you think that's what stopped it? Bullshit. It didn't stop it at all. It runs right through it like it wasn't even there. It's like shit through a goose. You're not stopping this thing. But on the other side, the good news is it ain't that bad. I mean, sorry for the people that die, but most of them are dying anyway. They got one foot in the grave. When this happens, it pushes them over the edge. This thought of immortality is what we're thinking we're going to have. Well, we all stay quarantined, don't touch air, don't look at anything, we'll live forever. Well, you ain't going to live forever. It's the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard in my life.
And the death toll has gone dramatically down. I mean, it is just
gone dramatically down from a low number to begin with.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're going to be well under 100,000 likely for this whole thing's over, and it's just like...
And still, have they tracked how many actual influenza, flu,
other typical... That'll be the real smoking gun here in a couple years when you can actually deduce the data that shows, okay, well, for the last 10 years, the average people that died of heart failure, cancer, otherwise, regular influenza, and you subtract and deduce that, you're probably going to find that the actual people that died from COVID-19 was half of what's currently being projected or is so now.
Well, now, if you test negative for the Roni, are you worse off than if you test positive and you're asymptomatic? Because if you don't build up these immune systems, this thought that we're all going to hide and protect ourselves from our own immune system is just insanity. If little kids aren't eating dirt, which that everybody knows, or everybody that knows anything knows where antibiotics come from, your natural immune system come from. It comes from your body's ability to synthesize things, filter out, and build its immunity on what it knows to protect. If it doesn't know to protect it, it can't protect it.
One last thing on Langer, because I thought he made a good point. And
so we're back to Langer. I was way off that. Okay.
He doesn't think this thing will be over. Doesn't think we'll be past this thing until a vaccine is created.
But there's never been a vaccine for any of these things. I mean, SARS and the different coronas have been around. They've been tracking them since the 60s. This isn't anything new, and they've yet to develop any. It can't be a defense because they don't know what it's going to be. So they can't make a defense until there's actually something out there, because the strains change and the old antibiotics have no effect.
Thank you for your doctorly wisdom.
I thought I was a mathematician.
I thought you were a plumber.
Plumbers protect the health of the nation. Plumbers have saved more lives than doctors have, and I'll stand by that forever.
Thanks.
Come on, I want to hear it. I want to hear the backlash from that.
All the good water and good hygiene.
That's right.
Sanitary sewer systems.
Right. You damn right.
I thought beer saved all the lives.
Beer does save a lot. It saves a lot of lives. You know, I didn't want to compete with beer.
I mean, how many marriages does beer save?
Oh shit! How'd you get married in the first place?
Beer.
Yep.
So, May 4th, get out there, support all our little local businesses. The restaurant guys, here's advice I can give you. Spread out a little bit, serve the most amount of people you can. They come knocking on your door, say, okay, I'll do a little better, back up, and...
Did you buy this shit?
No, you bought this crap.
Don't blame the shit on me.
Chocolate stout.
What's a good-looking bottle, though?
Oh, it's a great-looking bottle.
That's what's important. It's organic.
Well, we don't get to go to the bars anymore and have recommendations by bartenders, so we have to try our own...
Our own bartenders now. I seem to be working all right.
So what's the chances, Mel? Episode 45 coming up.
Ooh,
I want to have a Trump episode.
landmark.
I want to have a Trump episode.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's get that on your mind and have a Trump episode coming up.
Got any local government business to talk about other than
No.
the health department squashing the small businessman, the guy that's trying to make it, other than them with their foot on the businessman's necks,
That was the governor,
being forced by. There is discretion.
but he hasn't
hasn't
passed any
exercised.
He hadn't exercised any discretion
Why not?
because he doesn't think we have a problem.
Well, then why did he tell? Okay, all right, fair enough, but that's not. That was his thoughts to you. His actions are something different.
We'll see what happens.
Monday.
Yeah.
Of course, now Sedgwick, all of a sudden, following the state guidelines, 30 days ago, 60 days ago, it was going to be a 30-day stay-at-home. And that changed. That morphed into this, and not because of uncontrollable death tolls.
Yeah, 129 or 130 in Kansas,
Yeah.
0.004%.
So they doubled
Mortality
the
rate.
stay-at-home rate, or length of time, for no discernible reason. So, I don't know. Circular conversation.
We got to go.
All right. Where are we going? Oh, what? No. Okay, but no local politics to talk about. They had a work session today.
I didn't listen.
I didn't either.
I didn't care.
I got the skinny on it.
I'm getting back in when the new guy gets here.
Yeah, they postponed the budget meetings until the new guy gets here.
Did they? Perfect.
Yep. No shit.
Good job,
Good on
commissioners.
Good on them. Absolutely.
That was
then-
something that needed to happen.
Yeah, but I heard the biggest problem is the amount of proclamations is really stacking up.
This is
Probably ways they give each other.
this is the proclamation for May Day, and
Yeah.
anybody from the audience here for May Day that wants to say a minute?
Any commies out there? You young lady.
Watch your mouth.
You look like a commie.
Mel, we gotta go. Mel More
friend.
signing off.
Hasta la vista.